think I'm the only woman in Malaysia
Spicy gum coconut.
in the city. That's what I get. What looks I get all the time. Madre mía. Madre mía.
Seperti yang bisa kita lihat pada video barusan, pengalaman seorang bule saat berada di Malaysia justru meninggalkan kesan yang cukup buruk. Bukannya merasa nyaman, bule tersebut mengaku mengalami ketakutan dan rasa tidak aman selama berada di sana, karena selalu dipandangi oleh warga lokal kemanapun dia pergi. Ya, isu soal keamanan di Malaysia sebenarnya sudah sering menjadi perbincangan di kalangan para bule, utamanya bagi turis perempuan. Dan gak cuman bule itu saja. Ada salah seorang bule bernama Seli juga mengalami hal yang kurang mengenakan, bahkan lebih parah.
Something happened to me while I was solo traveling in Malaysia that I don't talk about often, but I probably should. This was my first week alone in a new country. Let's bear this in mind while I tell this story. I was in Ipoh in Malaysia. It's a very small town, not very touristy, but it's beautiful. It's known for its caves, its landscapes, gorgeous. I had the best time there before this happened. I just finished a massage. They're about $10, so I was getting one every day, making the most out of my money over there. I had decided to cut through an alleyway back to my hostel. It wasn't even that sketchy of an alleyway. It was between two main roads, and it was pretty thick. I had my headphones in, first mistake. But I always have my headphones in when I walked everywhere. I had felt someone come up behind me, and before I had a chance to turn around, he has put his arms around me and picked me up. Feet were in the air. I started fighting immediately, straight into fight or flight. I was panicking. He started carrying me towards a car. The boot was open. I just remember the drop of my stomach when I clocked what was happening. I kicked him as hard as I could in the balls. He's dropped me. I've legged it. I have ran. And I didn't look back. I ran across like a 4-lane highway, which was the main road that I was crossing onto. I've gone straight back to my hostel and I've run into the reception room where there was this little Malaysian lady who didn't speak any English. So I've just run in crying like, ah! I sat there for 4 hours because I was too scared to go back to my hostel room. And to explain to her what happened through Google Translate and a lot of tears. And I sat there with her daughter playing cards. So remember, this is my first week in a new country, my first week of solo travel internationally.
Ya, bisa terlihat dalam video, ia menceritakan pengalaman yang begitu mengerikan ketika berada di sana, di mana ia hampir menjadi korban penculikan. Ia menceritakan kejadian itu secara reflektif, bukan untuk menakut-nakuti orang agar tidak bepergian ke Malaysia, melainkan untuk jujur tentang sisi gelap yang bisa terjadi saat traveling sendirian. Pengalaman tersebut benar-benar membuatnya sangat trauma. Karena apa? Karena kejadian itu sama sekali berbanding terbalik dengan apa yang ia rasakan sebelumnya saat tinggal dan bepergian di Indonesia. Perlu dicatat, sebelum ke Malaysia, bule ini cukup lama berada di Indonesia. Dan selama di Indonesia, ia tidak pernah mengalami tatapan mengintimidasi, tidak pernah merasa diikuti, apalagi sampai takut keluar sendirian.
I've just come from Bali where I was with my friends and my sister, and I've been there for about a month. I had separated from them to start a 5-month solo trip through Asia and a little bit of Europe. It was week 1 of being fully alone. Next morning, best believe it, I got the next bus the fuck out of Ipoh, went straight up to Alor-Setar, caught a ferry over to Langkawi Island, where I found an all-female hostel and stayed there for 3 days without leaving. I didn't tell mum, I didn't tell my sister, I didn't tell my friends, because I knew that if I did, they would be like, the fuck home, right now. And I wanted to keep traveling despite what had happened. All jokes aside, that really sucked. And that experience made it really difficult for me to open up to other solo travelers for a massive part of my trip. I was just scared of strangers, full stop. Realistically, it was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. And learning how to let people in again and talk to people and open myself up again. That was one of the hardest things that I had to do, and I had to learn to do it all by myself while I was overseas. So pretty proud of myself for that. I did get there. I was meant to spend a month in Malaysia. I got the fuck out of there after 2 weeks.
Tentu, ini menjadi kebanggaan tersendiri bagi kita orang Indonesia, bahwa ternyata rasa aman yang selama ini kita anggap biasa saja, justru menjadi sesuatu yang sangat mahal dan langka bagi para bule. Apa yang mereka rasakan di Indonesia bukan sekadar aman di atas kertas, tapi aman secara mental dan perasaan. Tidak sampai di situ saja. Di Indonesia banyak turis tidak hanya merasa aman, tapi juga merasa sangat diterima. Bahkan, ada seorang bule yang sampai dibuat terharu ketika berada di Indonesia.
I I just can't tell Indonesians are so nice, or in general, or Asians. Like I'm walking now from a shop with my stuff, and there was already like this 30 seconds after I left the shop, the guy was coming and said, "Oh, you need a lift, you need help." Like, how sweet is that? Also, people are sleeping, but it's not cackling. It's more like they want to say hi, want to ask if you need help, if you want a lift. So cute. Like everyone says good morning to you. I'm walking and already like 3 people say good morning. Everyone is wishing me a good day. They can't do anything. And at the end they also don't want anything from me, you know? Like it's even genuine from their hearts.
Dari sini kita bisa melihat satu fakta penting, bahwa keamanan bukan hanya soal angka kriminalitas, tapi juga soal rasa. Dan Indonesia, tanpa banyak gembar-gembor, justru berhasil menunjukkan rasa aman itu kepada dunia.